Welcome to the Note Nuggets podcast, where you can learn how to become the bank, build wealth, and accumulate streams of income perfect for your savings or IRAs. You'll hear from industry experts, seasoned veterans, and everyday investors. Our goal is to teach you how to invest in notes, one nugget of knowledge at a time. Here's your host, Kevin Galang.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode of the Note Nuggets podcast. Now, I've played the Cashflow game by Robert Kiyosaki well over 100 times. Some of those times, I've taught other people how to play the game. And my favorite thing about the game is how it teaches people about the power of cash flow. The game does a phenomenal job of highlighting real concepts and techniques investors like myself are using to create streams of income. If you haven't played the game, I highly recommend giving it a shot. While experiencing the game is best done in person, with COVID-19 happening as I record this, I understand that it's not the safest thing to do at the moment. Instead, you can play the game online for free. And if you want to play that game, I'll link it to the show notes at notenuggets.com/mailbox-money. In order to win the cash flow game, you have to first achieve financial freedom. And financial freedom is achieved when a player's passive income exceeds their expenses. And how was this achieved? Well, in the game, financial freedom is achieved through cash flow generated by buying assets. These assets can be apartment complexes, businesses, bed and breakfasts, car washes, single-family homes, duplexes, triplexes, and promissory notes, which of course are notes. And that is what we are talking about today. Our guest shares how investors can create mailbox money / cash flow through mortgage notes. So let's learn about our guest. Justin Bogard is a real estate investor who architects deals from the viewpoint of being the bank. He has co-authored a #1 bestseller real estate book and co-hosts the Two Wealth Show, which is a video and podcast about real estate investing. He also hosts a monthly virtual meetup for note investors. So if you want to check that out, I'll go ahead and link his website in the show notes. So again, the first point is when we talk about mailbox money, how can an investor generate that mailbox money with note investing?
Well, it's pretty simple, and that's kind of the crux of what we call a performing loan in this industry is getting mailbox money. It's like getting a check in your mailbox, as they did back when we focused solely on checks, and now we have ACHs, right? We still call it mailbox money, but it's just getting a payment stream every month and not having to do any work for it. So it's simply, in very simple terms, we call it mailbox money, and that's what it is.
There you go, mailbox money. Yeah, that check is coming in, and it's part of that passive income, right? So think about rentals. Instead of rentals, now dealing with debt, being the bank. It's that simple. Buy a performer, become the bank, and the borrower will pay you instead of Wells Fargo. As the bank, you get that cash flow every month until the borrower sells the house or until they pay off the loan. By the way, if you want to know how I find notes, head over to notenuggets.com/find notes to get access to your free guide on finding notes. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Note Nuggets podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the show to get access to additional weekly value nuggets and get notified with episode updates. To subscribe, all you have to do is head over to subscribe.notenuggets.com. If you have any questions about this episode or note investing, book a time on Kevin's calendar at contact.notenuggets.com. We'll see you next week with another Note Nugget to add to your